Happy Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed the structure of the video yesterday. I mean, I'm just playing around with stuff. I really don't know what I'm doing. As I always say, I'm just a guy with a camera. I do watch several people who I do like their style, but I'm trying to come up with my own if I'm going to do the vlog stuff. And, you know, trying to figure out what exactly in my day pertains to the information at hand. If I was going back to the old stuff where I'm talking about life and living well and different things of that nature, I guess the vlog structure will be a little bit different. I'm always walking around looking for, looking down, because I found money walking last year. Like the weekend after Seafair, I found $70 on the ground, a crisp 50 and 20. It was crazy. It was just sitting on the ground. So I'd be afraid that I won't get money if I'm not looking down most of the time. So the workout went well. Now I'm feeling like I got to sneeze. The workout went well. We're taking 2 full days off in between. I still do cardio. I'm still doing my walking in the morning, and I'm trying to fit in a ride in one of those 2 days. But the volume, especially when we were training 4 days a week, the volume was just tearing me up. And it was putting me in a position where it was harder to eat less. And so I had to cut the volume back. So we're only, hate to say it, but we're only training 2 days a week now. But, I'm able to go into the workouts and feel strong, feel like I can go, not necessarily hard, but really put my full energy into getting the form corrected and really focus on listening to my body, which is most important for me right now going forward. I worked my strength up for the last year, but now I really got to start working on like making the movements look good. It's just like I tell my students when they train, you have to, the form when you're doing movements, the way that you move, the preciseness of your movement has to be, solid, because that's how you get injured. That's how you get hurt. Well, it's the same thing with weightlifting. If the movement doesn't look clean, if the right muscles are not firing at the right time, and the body's not in alignment, if the kinetic chain's not in the right alignment, then, you're going to be injury prone, especially if you're lifting the kind of weight that I lift. Not that I lift like crazy heavy or anything, but, you get hurt lifting lightweight. So, so morning sauna suit walk. I think this is like my 6th or 7th day in a row or something like that. Maybe over 7, I don't know, whatever. It's all written down in the calendar. Keep your data. So what I want to talk about quickly today, as far as Endomorph information, is this whole idea of cheat meals. Now look, I'm moving into a thing where I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but my situation will be a cheat meal of processed something, or just something that I don't eat on a regular basis. Pie, cake, something like that. Every time I lose either 3, 4, or 5 pounds. I haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but I'll come up with that soon. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is, especially Endomorphs, you have to get some kind of movement going on your weight loss before you start cheating, because spillover is a problem with carbohydrates. You may not show the damage from eating high carb the next day, but if you have glycogen spillover, then the next day after that, if you eat normal, you'll most likely wake up heavier. And I'm talking about even if you work out and all that stuff. So get out of the habit of feeling like you need to reward yourself all the time. Get in the habit of, rewarding yourself with a nice cheat meal, every so often. I mean, yes, you could fit little things in your diet here and there, but unprocessed foods for Endomorph slow down the metabolism. It begins to wear on you after a while. It could cause wheel spinning. man, I almost dropped my camera. It could cause wheel spinning, and that's not what you want. You want to be you want to be in a position where that scale is constantly going down. Not saying that you have to look at the scale full time all the time and the scale tells you everything. Matter of fact, I just did a fat pinch this morning. I came out at like 14.8%, which I was pretty happy. I thought I was going to be way higher than 14%. And the fat that I've put on since I started this lifting journey, man, I put on a lot of fat. I mean, you know, but whatever. I can get it off. I'm not discouraged or anything like that. Let's not go crazy. You know, cheat meal, not cheat day, and not all the time. You know, like I said, reward yourself and really focus on the fact that, you know, hey, glycogen spillover. You know, if you have like these crappy foods, you know, you are going to jump up the amount of glycogen that's going into your body and the amount of carbohydrates that's going into your body, you know, over the week. You know, you got to look at things in a weekly basis. You can't look at everything from day to day to day, you know, because realistically, weight loss is a time game. You got to stay in a caloric deficit for a long period of time, usually as an endomorph. Like right now, my goal weight, man, I'm probably looking at 4 or 5 months to get to my goal weight. So that means like I got to stay in that deficit for 4 or 5 months. Well, if I'm compiling carbohydrates and glycogen, I can walk all the days I want. I'm not going to get to that goal weight because sooner or later that process is going to cause me to slip up and do things that are undisciplined. That's the reason why I was saying that I got to decide, you know, is it going to be every 3 pounds, every 2 pounds, or every 5 pounds, every 4 pounds? What's it going to be? You know, maybe 3, you know, but get on a schedule of when you're going to have cheat meals. Don't have them every day. You don't have to reward yourself every day. You're not a child. You know, if you want to reward somebody, reward your kid, you know, do a good deed, help somebody. Don't be like this guy on the motorcycle that's more interested in people walking down the street than he is his own motorcycle. You know, focus on what you need to do. Focus on your growth, you know. And like I said, if you need to treat yourself, you know, then every time you lose a pound, go out and do something for someone else. Go out and help somebody. You know, give, you know, a transient $5, or go, you know, volunteer at the food bank or something like that. If you need to reward yourself, there's other ways of rewarding yourself other than food intake. I've been holding this camera for almost 8 minutes, so I'm gonna giddy up, but just, I'll leave you with this today, just as an aside. People are funny. People aren't always going to act the way that you want them to act. People aren't always going to be there for you the way that you want them to be there for you. But don't get frustrated. Let people live their life. Don't take things personally. The world doesn't revolve around you. All you could be responsible for is yourself and your kids to a certain point. Even after your kids get a certain age, you can't control them anymore either. They're an individual. You can't control your partner. Your partner's an individual. The only thing you can control is yourself. People aren't always acting in a way that you don't agree with because they're trying to do wrong to you or be mean to you, or, you know, not give you the relationship that you want or not make you happy. People just have their lives, and people's minds are all over the place, just like your mind's all over the place. So focus on you, be the best you that you can be, and I feel like everything will work out one way or another. Happy Saturday.